Even as the matter of the Gyanvapi survey is in court, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath entered the debate today. Speaking on the ANI podcast, he said that it's up to the Muslim community to end a century-old debate and offer to right a historic wrong. Remember, this comment comes at a time when the court is hearing a set of petitions about a survey of the Gyanvapi complex to determine its historic nature. But rather than have a long-drawn legal battle, Yogi said that since walls of the Gyanvapi themselves are screaming out the truth about the nature of the structure, why should a compromise formula instead be looked for? A compromise formula that comes from the Muslim community and a move that will eventually result in reconciliation.
ज्ञानवापी काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर इस प्रॉब्लम का कोई सोल्यूशन है?
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा। मुझे लगता है कि भगवान ने जिसको दृष्टि दी है वो देखे ना। त्रिशूल मस्जिद के अंदर क्या कर रहा है? हमने तो नहीं रखे ना। ज्योतिर्लिंग हैं, देव प्रतिमाएं हैं, पूरी दीवारें चिल्ला चिल्ला के क्या कह रही हैं। और मुझे लगता है कि ये प्रस्ताव मुस्लिम समाज की तरफ से आना चाहिए कि साहब ऐतिहासिक गलती हुई है और उस गलती के लिए हम चाहते हैं समाधान हो।
But how was this suggestion received? You would have heard the political arguments and they are along predictable lines. But Times Now actually spoke to the man on the street to gauge his mood. Is there a possibility that, tired of another long legal battle, there is a formula offered to find a middle path? We in fact went out and spoke to people from cities as varied as Ahmedabad to Patna to Saharanpur to Meerut. So let's listen in to the voices from across India. What does the Aam Aadmi, the common man from the Muslim community, think about this outreach? Is there a possibility that there could be a proposal that comes from within the community to find a via media?
ज्ञानवापी का मामला कोर्ट के अंदर है। कोर्ट का फैसला मुसलमानों के लिए, पूरे हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्वोपरि है। अयोध्या मामले के अंदर कोर्ट ने फैसला दिया, मुसलमानों ने शांतिपूर्वक उसे स्वीकार किया। लोग कहते थे खून की नदियां बह जाएगी, ऐसा हो जाएगा, हिंदू मुसलमान में झगड़ा हो जाएगा, पथराव हो जाएगा, बसें फूंक दी जाएंगी, मुसलमान ये कर दें वो कर दें। पर इस देश के कानून को मानने, मुसलमान इस देश के कानून को मानता है, इस देश के आईन को मानता है। और अगर ज्ञानवापी के मामले में कोर्ट फैसला सुनाता है तो कोर्ट का फैसला हमारे लिए सर्वोपरि है। मुसलमान के लिए कोर्ट का फैसला सामान्य है, मान्य है। मुसलमान इस फैसले को मानने का काम करेगा। अगर कोर्ट ने फैसला सुना दिया ज्ञानवापी का मामला ऐसा है तो हम उसे स्वीकार करेंगे। मैं कोई हमारे लिए
आपका क्या विचार है
इसके अंदर? जो विचार किया है इन्होंने सही किया मेरे भाई ने, अनसफरी जी ने। तो मैं भी यही चाहता हूँ जो कोर्ट का फैसला होगा मान्य होगा। अगर ये देखा जा रहा है कि वहाँ पर मूर्तियाँ हैं या मूर्ति के चित्र है तो मस्जिद नहीं हो सकती। मस्जिद के अंदर तो बिल्कुल साफ मामला होता है, प्लेन होती है, क्योंकि वहाँ नमाज भी नहीं हो सकती। क्योंकि हमारा जो मजहब है, बिल्कुल कोई भी मूर्ति या कोई भी चित्र वहाँ पर होता है तो नमाज नहीं हो पाती।
सरकार का फैसला होगा, मान्य उच्चतम न्यायालय का, वो सर्वोपरि होगा। सबको मानना है और पहले भी मानना है। न्यायालय का मामला अगर इसमें भी निकल के आता है, नहीं, हम तो ये चाहते हैं कि हिंदू मुस्लिम भाईचारा बना रहे। और हमने तो हमेशा ये चाहा है कि हमारे देश में जो है हिंदू मुस्लिम एकता का प्रतीक है और जो है गुलदस्ता बना रहे, ये हिंदुस्तान चमन बना रहे। हमारे तो हमेशा कोशिश यही है। और रही बात उसकी, हमारे और जिम्मेदार हैं, वो इसके बारे में सोचने का विषय है, उन्हें सोचना चाहिए। और बाकी जो कोर्ट में मामला चल रहा है सर्वप्रथम है, मानना जाएगा।
आज योगी आदित्यनाथ ने कहा कि वहाँ पर त्रिशूल और ये चीजें दिखी है, तो ऐसे में मुस्लिम समाज को आगे आके कहना चाहिए कि ये
योगी जी बहुत ज्ञानी आदमी हैं, क्योंकि वो खुद योगी हैं और बहुत ज्ञान उनके पास। और 200 साल 300 साल 400 साल पहले की सारा ज्ञान है उनके पास। अगर उनको ज्ञान में है कि ये त्रिशूल है तो ठीक है, सरकार उनकी, पुलिस उनका, तंत्र उनका, जो जैसे करे इस्तेमाल। जैसे 300 साल पहले मुगलों ने ज़बरदस्ती कोई मंदिर मस्जिद बनाया होगा, उस आज इनके पास ताकत है ये बनाना। जब आज कभी फिर ये ताकत पलटी होगा फिर वो अपना ताकत दिखाएंगे।
वो जो कह रहे हैं कि वो उन्होंने, मुसलमानों का गलती यही था कि उन्होंने जो आज से जो हौज बनाया उसमें एक फव्वारा लगा दिया। चाहे जो लोग भी लगवाए होंगे वो जो है से फव्वारा को लोग जो है से क्या बना दिए अब पता नहीं चल रहा है। देखिए, इसमें लोग कुछ भी कहें, सरकार को सही फैसला करना चाहिए। आपको अगर लगता है कि हाँ वहाँ पर मस्जिद नहीं है, वहाँ कोई आदमी ऐसा कर सकता है कि किसी भी हम मंदिर में जाकर के या मस्जिद में जाकर के कोई दूसरे चीज का सामान लगा देंगे, कभी लगाएगा? कोई नहीं लगाएगा। ये जबरदस्ती का एक उस पर केस चल रहा था। अब ये आदत उनकी बन गई कि अब बाबरी मस्जिद को हम ले लिया तो अब ज्ञानवापी को लें, फिर मथुरा के ईदगाह को लें, तो फिर वहाँ की मस्जिद। ये तो गलत बात हुआ।
योगी जी बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं और योगी जी के जैसे आदमी के हिसाब से चलाया जाता, अब तक हिंदुस्तान का वजूद को मिट जाना चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसे हिंदुस्तान को चलना नहीं। उनके बात को हम लोग सिरे से नहीं लेते हैं, उनका कोई वैल्यू नहीं, कोई औचित्य नहीं है।
किसी के को कब्जा करके मस्जिद नहीं बनाया जाता है। आप देखें कहीं भी मस्जिद आपको बेकब्जा में नहीं बनाया गया, सब अपने जगह पर बनाया गया, इसलिए उनका बोलना गलत है।
Now there is criticism even now, and most view it as an election or political ploy. But the fact remains that what Yogi Adityanath has said is borne out by pictures that have emerged in the survey from within the Gyanvapi complex. When he says that Diware cheek rahi hai, he is speaking about what is borne out by evidence, whether it be the walls of the basement or whether it be in other areas. Remember, Yogi asked who put the Trishul inside, and the fact is that various walls bear the motif or the symbol of the Trishul, which is an inseparable part of a Shiv temple. He also mentioned today the presence of a Jyotirling, and right from the Wusukhana to the basement, a Shivling-like structure has been uncovered. And as for the idols of the deities, they are scattered right across Gyanvapi in what is called the mosque complex. From the idol of Adi Shakti, shown to you here on Times Now, to that of a Sheshnag, to the foot of what looks like a damaged idol. It is all present. It is still there after years of damage and neglect.
उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री ने बड़ी साजिश के साथ एक जुडिशियल ओवररीच किया है। वो जानते हैं कि एसआई सर्वे के खिलाफ हाई कोर्ट, इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट में फैसला आने वाला है, और ऐसे वक्त पे इस तरह की बात कर रहे हैं। इसको जुडिशियल ओवररीच कहेंगे तो क्या कहेंगे? 91 के एक्ट को मानो, अपना बिलीफ सिस्टम को बाजू रखो और संविधान के तहत उत्तर प्रदेश को और देश को चलना चाहिए।
हमारी मस्जिद थी, है, और ये उन्होंने अब अपने प्लानिंग के तहत, उसमें सियासी मसलहत के तहत वो ये काम करना चाहते हैं कि हमसे ज़बरदस्ती ये कहलवाना चाहते हैं कि ये मस्जिद, ये मंदिर है, मस्जिद नहीं थी।
Sister, it's already a mosque. It's continuing years back. No, it's not a new thing. They themselves is creating a story that it was a temple and that it was demolished and then constructed. Yeah, that is all, they go on saying lie in this kind of thing. Their intention is to make another issue for 2024 election. Always they used to make this kind of political tricks.
देखिए, मैं समझता हूँ कि ये मामला अदालत में है। मैं सिर्फ ये कहूँगा कि एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन रखते हुए योगी आदित्यनाथ 6.5 साल से चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, बहुत जाने माने देश के पॉलिटिशियन हैं। उनको ये बात पता है कि जब अदालत में मामला ज़ेरे गौर है, उस पर किसी ओहदेदार को इस तरह का बयान नहीं देना चाहिए, ना ही कोई दबाव डालने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। लेकिन चूंकि एजेंडा है और ये 2024 के एजेंडे का एक हिस्सा मालूम होता है, लेकिन ये अदालत को मुतासिर करने की कोशिश है। वो किसी पक्ष को देखने की बात नहीं है। हर पक्ष ने अपना मुद्दा वहाँ रख दिया है, ये अदालत को फैसला करना है।
Which brings us to the basic questions. Is an out-of-court reconciliation really possible? Will the mosque side reciprocate this offer of looking for a formula, of giving a formula? And since the proof is very visible, it's very present, then why deny the peace formula? What the Chief Minister has said today, is it a case of compromise, of overreach, or is it, as Asaduddin Owaisi calls it, a tacit threat? Dr. Kaushal Kant Mishra, BJP spokesperson, joins us along with Vishnu Jain, lawyer for the Hindu side, Advocate Varis Pathan, national spokesperson of the AIMIM, and Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress. I want to start by asking you first, Vishnu Jain. Most people will ask, why even talk about an out-of-court solution right now? When the matter is already in court, why bring out this ki aap ek prastav lekar ke aiye? Why is a prastav needed? The court is there.
See, there is a legal provision to that effect. Section 89 of the CPC gives the power that at any stage there can be talks of settlement and conciliation. Remember in Ram Mandir dispute also before 2010, when the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict was going to come on 30th September 2010, there was a lot of amicable settlement talks which were going on between the parties. Apart from that, when Supreme Court was going to deliver its judgment in 2019, then also there were talks of solutions. So here the question is that the Chief Minister of a state can give this statement, because let me tell you, Padmaja, that there is no order from the Supreme Court, the High Court or the District Court of Varanasi restraining or having any gag order on talking about this issue. Point number one. Point number two, let me tell you very, very clearly, state of UP is not a contesting respondent in this case. So therefore I would have said, and honestly I would have said on your channel, that if state of UP is a contesting respondent and state of UP is filing an affidavit and the Chief Minister of the state is making a statement in public, then I would have said that there is some issue here. But the state of UP is not a party. This is a list between Anjuman Intizamiya and the Hindu devotees. So therefore a Chief Minister can give his statement on a matter, and therefore there is no provision under any article of the Constitution or CPC or any law. Please show me, and I am asking it again and again, where there is a bar that if a matter is sub judice in the court, public or media or anyone or politicians or constitutional functionaries cannot talk about it.
Okay, Varis Pathan, there have been past precedents of where a via media was looked at. You yourself is a lawyer. You would remember, by the way, what L.K. Advani had said in 2004, way before the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict came. He said in the course of the past 6 years, the NDA government headed by Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee attempted to find an amicable, negotiated settlement to the problem. Various public-spirited individuals, including the Shankaracharya of Kanchi and the Dalai Lama, have used their good offices to try and bring the two sides to the dispute together for a negotiated settlement. What is wrong in this? Negotiated settlements have been tried in the past as well. It saves time, it saves effort, it saves goodwill.
Well, Padmaja, Yogi has taken oath on the Constitution and he has become the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. The matter is sub judice before the Allahabad High Court. The Allahabad High Court has to pass an order on the 3rd of August directing whether the ASI survey is required or no. Pending a matter which is sub judice before the court, a person like Yogi, who is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, coming before the channel and making such kind of statement is totally uncalled for, is about justice. You cannot. I would like the Allahabad High Court to take note of it and take due process what is to be done to him. And the country will not run on the faith of an individual. Country will run as per the Constitution. Now he wants to take back the entire scene to the 90s era, where we have seen what happened to our Babri. There also suddenly the Murti prakat ho gayi thi raat ke andhare mein in December 49, and then what we could see, the Tala khol diya Babri Masjid ka, affidavit was filed in the Honorable Supreme Court, and a conspiracy was hatched wherein on 6th of December, which we call as the black day in the democracy of the country, our Babri Masjid was demolished. We have seen that was the reason that places of worship in 1991 was enacted to ensure, allow me to complete my point.
Formula of peace. He is saying, I'll save you time, I will save you heartburn, just you come. He's not saying, Mera ye proposal hai. Hindus are telling you, do this. He's saying, let your side come with the formula.
Is he the Supreme Court judge? Is he the Supreme Court judge? Let the courts decide. Let the court go tell the parties that kindly go for an amicable settlement. Why not? There was an agreement entered between the parties in the Babri Masjid thing, this Gyanvapi thing, wherein the land of 1700 square meter land was to be given to the Kashi Vishwanath Temple Trust. There was an agreement. What happened to that? Nobody would say. And he wants to, and see, why was the Places of Worship Act 1991 enacted? It was with an intention to ensure and see that the places of worship, that is monuments, places, mosques, churches, those which are standing prior to 15 August 1947, you cannot change the nature and character of that place. So what was the intention at that time? And
sir, that is a separate debate, and it's a debate we've had many times. My question to you is, today you are saying...
He spoke about the history also. Kindly allow me. Just 10 seconds.
Okay,
10 seconds I will finish my submission. Swami, they don't read Swami Vivekananda volume 7, where Swami Vivekananda clearly says that Jagannath Puri was earlier a Buddhist mutt, which they had demolished and made a temple. So will they take back the history to that era? Since last 400 years,
the answer to that is very simple. You want to challenge any temple in Odisha, you want to challenge any temple in Karnataka, in West Bengal, in Kerala, in Uttar Pradesh, you by all means, sir, you are a very learned lawyer, please go to court and challenge it. But that still doesn't take away from the moot question here, which is that if somebody is asking for a peace formula, how are you calling an offer of peace and reconciliation a threat? Mr. Varis Pathan. He is literally saying,
what peace?
आप हमें offer दीजिए.
Don't lie before the nation. He did not call for peace. He said that the Muslim Paksh ko aana chahiye. Why not the Hindu? Let them show a bigger heart. Why only my asta every now and then? Why should I sacrifice myself every now and then? Let them come before.
After hearing that Shivling is a fountain, we should come forward and give a formula. After praying on the chaukhut of this mosque on every fourth day of Vasantik Navratri of Ma Shringar Gauri, we should come and give a formula. After seeing that our shikhars are in dilapidated condition beneath these 3 central domes, we should come and give a formula. After seeing that these pillars are still saying that they are the ruins of Hindu temple, we should give a formula.
No, hold on a second. I have a specific question. Vishnu Jain, I have a specific question. You are saying always the Muslims are asked, give up your claim. Give up your claim. They are saying, you give up your claim, you got Ayodhya, let them keep Kashi.
See, the fact of the matter is, Padmaja, that I am quoting you very, very clear Hindu Shastric law that once a place, there is a temple which has been established, then till the end of the time it remains the property of the deity and no one can even touch it. Now, the point is very, very simple here and very, very simple legal issue, that who is prior in time. Waris Bhai and the case of Anjuman Intizamiya is that in 1669 Aurangzeb has constructed this so-called mosque. Our case is that the so-called mosque is not constructed by Aurangzeb, it's a pre-existing Hindu temple which is used as a mosque. Therefore, we are asking for ASI survey. Now, Varis Bhai says that no, ASI survey should not happen because ASI survey will damage the property. ASI gives an affidavit that this survey will not damage the property. ASI is the premier institution of the country. Padmaja, let me tell you, 2021 SCC page 1 para 661, the Supreme Court has said the ASI is the premier institution of the country, but you do not believe in the ASI. You say if ASI survey will happen, it will damage the property. Let ASI survey happen. And Varis Bhai, let us see whether this mosque was constructed by Aurangzeb or it was pre-existing. Let it happen. What's the difficulty? Why are you afraid of Western Wall being investigated?
In fact, sir,
let's get investigated the Western Wall. What's the harm in it?
Mr. Pathan, in fact, Yogi Adityanath is going a step forward. He's saying you don't trust ASI. आप फॉर्मूला दीजिए. आप कहिए कि आपको ASI पे भी ट्रस्ट नहीं है, कोर्ट पे भी ट्रस्ट नहीं है. You give a formula. What should be done? What is the harm in doing that?
Well, then let him show a bigger heart. Well, then let him show a bigger heart. Already our Babri Masjid is Shaheed. Kindly allow us here. That is what the intention of the place is.
But sir, historians who are called left historians,
let them come forward.
Left historians have also accepted that Gyanvapi was built on the ruins of a temple. Exactly. Let me actually quote to you historians who are known as left of center. Nadeem Rizvi, author and professor of medieval history at AMU, says, no one can justify what Aurangzeb did. However, we can't behave like him and keep demolishing mosques to restore temples. You have got other historians from the Aligarh Muslim University, Irfan Habib, who has said, Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb destroyed temples in Varanasi and Mathura to raise mosques. Irfan Habib is saying it. So it's not as if Vishnu Jain or the BJP or Yogi Adityanath or Kaushal Kant Mishra is saying that this was a temple. Irfan Habib is saying it.
It was so insane that he demolished the entire temple, but he left the Wazukhana there. You mean to say that?
Irfan Habib is saying it. I am not saying it.
Why you are shying away from survey? Let Wazukhana be surveyed. Padmaja, let me tell you that we got an order from the Honorable Allahabad High Court, 12th of May 2023, where the Allahabad High Court said that this should be investigated and it should be investigated whether it's a fountain or shivling. Padmaja, let me tell you who went to the Supreme Court. The Anjuman Intizamiya went to the Supreme Court and said that this investigation should not happen.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Varis Pathan, again, I had a very specific question that I asked of you. I have a very specific question that I asked of you, which was that everyone from left of center historians to, people who have been associated with the Hindu right have all said that the evidence speaks for itself. Now, instead of having a long drawn battle, why don't you just come to a middle path?
Under the Babri Masjid, there were no idols. बाबरी मस्जिद को तोड़ा ही नहीं था. The Supreme Court has also said.
सर अब बाबरी मस्जिद पे वापस नहीं जाते हैं. बाबरी मस्जिद ऑलरेडी डिसाइड हो चुका है. हम यहाँ बैठ करके we cannot reinvent the wheel.
Same thing we are facing now, Padmaja. Kindly go to the Supreme Court's order.
Every case depends upon its own facts.
Exactly.
You cannot mix the case of Babri Masjid, and then also he's quoting erroneously.
Exactly. So let's not go into the Babri Masjid, because that's a settled issue. Let me go one step further. Let me bring in Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal, the most surprising thing was the opposition to a formula, a peace formula from the Congress. After all, the first peace committee was made by the Congress government. Let me quote to you what had happened when the late Narasimha Rao was Prime Minister. You know who else was a part of that peace committee? There was Sharad Pawar, there was Kamal Nath, there was the Shankaracharya, there was Bhairo Singh Shekhawat, and Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister, when at that time he said that I want to keep the dialogue going without any break. This was Narasimha Rao, who said, let's have a compromise formula. What's the problem today?
Padmaja, the approach of the BJP is the problem that we have today. Trying to, they don't have a clear understanding about history. They don't know what that era was, what used to prompt such bigotry. And they play politics on these issues now. You cannot resolve bigotry by another bigotry. You cannot claim justice towards doing what Aurangzeb did in the 17th century. The wise decision would be to keep that particular structure, to understand that structure as a historical monument, as mentioned with respect to the Places of Worship Act 1991.
So then answer me this. In 1991, why did the Prime Minister's office set up a special cell which was doing the work of collection, authentication and examination of all records relating to the negotiations started by the previous government? This I am quoting to you from a white paper that was released by the Narasimha Rao government. They were examining Chandrasekhar ji ke time pe kya kaam hua tha to try and find a peace formula in the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute. And this cell was set up in the Prime Minister's office, which was looking at all the records. Today you are saying the BJP doesn't appreciate history. In 1991, why was the Congress government then trying to look for a formula, a negotiated settlement?
Because Padmaja, it was in 1980s that BJP started communalizing Indian politics. Prior to 1980s, we do not have any instance where communalization of politics was giving any benefit to them.
Sir, I am asking you a separate question. मैं आपको नाम पूछने आप weather बता रहे हो.
It is only
answer me simply. What is the problem you have with a negotiated settlement when the original negotiations were started on Ram Janmabhoomi by the Congress government?
No, look at the track record of the government. Has it been tolerant towards Muslims? No. It has been very authoritarian towards the Muslim. And right now, forcefully, you cannot arm twist them towards a compromise. First of all,
how is it forcible? You are saying हमसे बात कीजिए. ये forcible कैसे है? You're literally saying, please talk to us.
Look at the precedents in Karnataka. Look at the manner in which Yogi Adityanath has been issuing statements against the Muslims, whether it is Dharam Sabha, whether it is any form of statement with respect to Delhi. And at the end of the day, when such a chief minister having a track record of bigotry comes out and asks Muslims to come out for a settlement, what do you expect?
Okay, Kaushal Kant Mishra, when PV Narasimha Rao did it, it was about peace. When Yogi Adityanath says it, given his track record, ये एक धमकी है where you are telling the Muslims, मान जाओ, दे दो, or else. Kaushal Kant Mishra.
Padmaja, I have heard Congress spokesperson, and you have already shown him the face that the same thing was done by the Prime Minister office. But right now the CM is inviting, and CM is a not party in that particular case, and he is a neutral person for a state, and he is saying that everybody should come and settle this issue. I don't think there is an issue. And what he said literally, pratyaksham kim pramanam, means everything is clear. If you see, Trishul is there, Murti is there, Kamal is there, Swastik is there. So what is left behind? Means all the wall which is barricaded right now, previously it was open, it is openly saying that it is actually the mosque was built on the temple. So that's what is Pratyaksham Pramanam. And my friend AIMIM spokesperson is telling about the Buddha. Buddha ji is our 10th avatar of Vishnu. We take everybody our being, our God. It's you who has got problem, where you have got problem. In my opinion, our mythology, our history and our Vedas says the Buddha is the 10th avatar of the Lord Vishnu. What is the problem? It's the same mandir, and you can find multiple Buddha statue in the many temples.
Dr. Kaushal Mishra, it's not so much about belief as track record. Lokesh Jindal ने भी क्या बोला? आपका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड ऐसा है. When we went out and spoke to the people, I want you to actually again listen to what some people from the Muslim community said in Meerut. वो ये नहीं देख रहे कि आप कह रहे हो कि अच्छा बातचीत करते हैं. वो ये कह रहे हैं कि आप कुछ भी करके बस हमसे ही सब कुछ छीन रहे हो. Let's listen to how they responded.
सीएम योगी साहब जो हैं वो हमारे सीएम हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हैं. वो इस टाइम जो है कुर्सी पे बैठे हुए हैं. वही बड़ा दिल दिखावें और जो है मुस्लिम पक्ष को परेशान ना करें भाई. दरिया दिल वही दिखा देवें. चूँकि यहाँ पे भारत जो चलता है वो संविधान से चलता. तो अब ये जो है चूँकि हम माइनॉरिटी में हैं, हम कमज़ोर हैं यहाँ पे, तो हमें जो है परेशान किया जा रहा है ज्ञानवापी के मामले में लेकर के. भाई ज्ञानवापी पहले मस्जिद थी, मस्जिद अल्लाह का घर है, हमेशा रहेगा. इसी तरीके से जो है इन्होंने जो है बाबरी मस्जिद को, सबको पता है, पूरी दुनिया को पता है, बाबरी मस्जिद को शहीद करके इन्होंने राम मंदिर बनाया.
हाँ, मुस्लिम समुदाय मानता है कि इस विवाद को लंबा ना खींचकर इसका निपटारा जल्दी हो जाए और आपसी सौहार्द के साथ मिल बैठकर हो जाए, वो ज़्यादा अच्छा बेहतर है दोनों समुदाय और देश के लिए. जहाँ तक ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद का सवाल है, वो किसी मंदिर में मस्जिद नहीं बनी है. मंदिर अलग है, मस्जिद अलग है. जहाँ तक बड़े दिल का सवाल है, वो दोनों पक्षों को ही बड़ा दिल रखना चाहिए.
बताइए कौशल मिश्रा, हमारे पीछे पड़ गए हैं योगी जी, कह रहे हैं ये मेरठ के लोग.
देखिए, पहली चीज तो ये कि जो ये कह रहे हैं कि मस्जिद थी, मस्जिद कब से? जब से इस्लाम नहीं बना था उसके पहले से काशी खंड का स्कंद पुराण जो था उसमें कहा गया था ज्ञानवापी, जिसमें यह मेंशन है कि शिव जी खुद जो ईशान नाम से थे, उन्होंने आकर के वहां पर वो ज्ञानव्यापी जो तालाब बनाया था और जिससे जल चढ़ाया था शिव को. तो ये तो तब की बात है जब इस्लाम बना भी नहीं था. ये हजारों साल पुरानी बात की जा रही है. और अगर आप बात करते हैं तो अगर इन्हें डाउट नहीं है, अगर इन्हें कंफर्म है कि वो मस्जिद है, तो फिर साइंटिफिक एनालिसिस करने में प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
डाउट आपकी और योगी जी के इंटेंशन पे है,
जबकि ऐसा
इनको मंदिर मस्जिद पे डाउट नहीं है, आपके इंटेंशन पे है.
पद्मजा जी, लेकिन ये वो जुडिशरी है जिसने इंदिरा गांधी जब प्रधानमंत्री थी उनको अपनी कुर्सी से उतार दिया. ये वही इलाहाबाद का हाई कोर्ट है जहां पर केस चलने वाला है. जो ये तो सिर्फ सीएम है, योगी जी हैं. अगर वो अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल होगा, इलीगल होगा, तो हमारी जुडिशरी डेमोक्रेसी में इतनी स्ट्रांग है कि वो अपना एक्शन लेगी. पर एक्चुअली दिस इज फैक्चुअली करेक्ट. और जो मेरे मित्र बार बार कह रहे थे कि वर्शिप ऑफ एक्ट बार बार आता है, उस वर्शिप ऑफ एक्ट का अगर क्लॉज 3 देखें तो उसमें यह क्लियर लिखा गया है कि एनी प्लेस ऑफ वर्शिप रेफर्ड शैल बी द सबसेक्शन शैल बी द एंशिएंट हिस्टोरिकल मॉन्यूमेंट और एन आर्कियोलॉजिकल साइट remnants should be in the archaeological monument. Means this site is out of the purview of 1991 Act. What they are quoting, he himself is a lawyer and he is misquoting the law. That is the problem. They always try to cheat the public and they
don't doubt our intentions as the BJP.
Just now the BJP spokesperson does not know who is reading. What is reading? Does he know what were the intention when the Places of Worship Act 1990 was enacted with? The nature and character of any place, monument, structure prior to 15 August 1947, you cannot change the nature and character of it. It involves everything. Why don't you understand that? You read section 3 but you don't know interpret it properly. You should go home, interpret the section properly. Kindly take help from some senior, he will advise you. Kindly read section 3 of that. What does it say? What does it say? What does the section 3 say?
You read the section.
Prior 15 August 1947. So all these monument structures are prior to 1947. And so you cannot change the nature and character. If prayers are being offered there since last 400 years, why do you want to have a survey? What is your intention? With a malified intention, you want to change the nature. We know because we have seen in Babri, अचानक से रात को मूर्ति प्रकट हो गई थी. जिस तरह से यहाँ पर आप बोलते हो त्रिशूल है, वहाँ पर मूर्ति थी, फिर ताला खोल दिया. उसके बाद में 6 दिसंबर को हमारी बाबरी मस्जिद शहीद कर दिया.
अभी वही एरा में ले जाना चाहते हो क्या? द गन ओवर हियर. कोई नेचर चेंज करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है, सिर्फ बातचीत की बात हो रही है. There is only mention of talks, not about any substantial change. But Vishnu Jain, it again boils down to this. Mohan Bhagwat himself said, don't try and start looking for a shivling under every mosque. The same thing happened with Ram Janmabhoomi. The same thing is happening with Gyanvapi. Tomorrow it is going to be Mathura also. Then it's going to be, somebody is going to say Qutub Minar, etc. The fear among the community is that this is going to be a vicious circle.
No, completely not, Padmaja. And thus, see, the point is this. And let me say very, very clearly, can you bring a Islamic scholar, a single Islamic scholar or a Muslim who can say that they can build a mosque over a ruins of a temple? They can build a mosque after demolishing a Hindu temple? No Islamic scholar can say, or a Muslim can say, that it will be a valid mosque after demolishing a Hindu temple. And if there are facts and documents and structures which are existing in the country which are saying that it is constructed after demolishing a Hindu temple, why not it can't be restored?
So let me ask you then, if we are talking about a peace formula, should it be a part of that formula कि आप काशी, मथुरा और अयोध्या के बाद full stop?
See,
don't keep making claims.
Padmaja, let me be very, very categorical. I am not here to give any concession on behalf of a community or a society that it will be only for these 3 temples. It will be for all those temples who are today in ruins and above whom a mosque has been constructed after demolishing a Hindu temple. This fight, this litigation will go on till that time. And this peace formula came in Ram Janmabhoomi when the talks were going on. And we rejected this formula that no, there will be litigation for all those places which are built on a Hindu temple. 2.5 दिन का झोपड़ा है अजमेर में, क्यों वहां पे आपने गलत कब्जा कर रखा है? भोजशाला में जो मां सरस्वती का मंदिर है, वहां पे संस्कृत की ऋचाएं मिटाई जा रही हैं, यज्ञ कुंड में, हवन कुंड में थूका जा रहा है. हर एक चीज की लड़ाई लड़ेंगे पद्मजा, लीगली लड़ाई लड़ेंगे, पीसफुली लड़ाई लड़ेंगे, but we will fight and I'm not going to give any concession.
All right, there will be no concessions, but if both sides refuse to relent, then can there be any middle path which is being spoken of now? Think about that. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for joining me.